A Dutch appeals court has ruled that Royal Dutch Shell can be held liable for oil spills at its subsidiary in Nigeria. Judges in The Hague ordered Shell to avail documents that might shed light on the cause of the oil spills and whether leading managers were aware of them. The ruling overturned a 2013 finding by a lower Dutch court that Shell's Dutch-based parent company could not be held liable for spills at its Nigerian subsidiary. The legal dispute dates back to 2008 when 4 Nigerian farmers and the campaign group Friends of the Earth filed a suit against the oil company over spillage. Shell has always blamed sabotage for the leaks, which under Nigerian law would mean it is not liable to pay compensation. Let's cross over now to Sophie Adengo, who's live for us in Abuja. Sophie, interesting developments to this long-running case of oil pollution. What has been the immediate reaction to this ruling?
Well, the immediate reaction is really a short-term reaction. As you know, this is, the Dutch court ruled on an appeal, a court, case that has been pending in the Dutch courts for since 2008. But really, in the short term, the immediate reaction is that these farmers can be heard. Event 2016 of March, there'll be, a court hearing in which this whole saga can play out. But as you know, Royal Dutch is not unfamiliar with these sort of cases, having to the Niger Delta area in Nigeria and really staking a claim of almost 6,000 kilometers of pipeline in which, leaks are very regular. But it's just that the leaks have become more regular and more damaging to the environment, damaging to the communities that live in them. And so the idea is, did the Royal Dutch Company know of any spills, and what did they do about them? In an area as large as the Niger Delta area, which is, oil rich and has vast, deposits of crude oil and the excavation of it. Who knew what is really at the center of this, court case. And at the end of the day, the immediate reaction, obviously from the Friends of Nature and the farmers, is that they are actually going to be heard. And of course, subsequently, if Shell is found guilty, compensation for the farmers will be realized because they inevitably are dealing with high levels of pollution and an inability to really be able to live off the land as a result of these oil spills.
Describe to us, Sophie, the extent of the pollution in the area and how this has affected people in that region.
Well, in this year alone, Amnesty International, a human rights organization, has really drawn a lot of light and a lot of attention towards the Niger Delta area and the pollution that comes as a result of these oil spills and also, gas flares that, emit these emissions into the environment. But, if you could take a look at some of these pictures, it is alarming what oil spills and the damage that they can do, not only on the surface of the land in which oil has really polluted the ground and nothing can grow in terms of, planting if that is your livelihood. And also a lot of the populations within this area depend on fishing, and a lot of the oil spills have polluted the rivers and no fish can grow and no fishing or any kind of viable, long-standing any commercial fishing can be done in these areas. So it's really one of those cases where Shell must show up and prove they had no prior knowledge of these oil spills, and indeed these communities are suffering as a result of perhaps some sinister crime of having these pipe leaks based on maybe militant activity, which is not uncommon in the Niger Delta area.
And the thing is, Sophie, is that Shell says it is disappointed by the ruling. It denies responsibility, and in fact, it blames the spills on sabotage. So does this position hold any water?
Well, I do have some facts here. The Ethical Affairs Committee, which is a new committee that was formed as a result of Shell continuously confronting these type of court cases and having an avalanche of cases coming against them, they have said that they take full responsibility in this area of gas flares and are sorry for not being able to have these communities grow on their land or drink their water. And they have continued to say that the incidents represent, an idea in which Shell is willing to take responsibility where they are responsible for these oil spills, but they are not obviously going to sit back and not fight the ruling that is been put forward by the Dutch court system at this time.
All right, Sophia Adengo, live there in Abuja. Thank you, Sophie.